Good evening, everyone. It's East African time, 7:34 p.m. here. Good evening or good morning, where you are. This is Bamutia Trevor Brill the first, the host of this podcast, Beyond Belief. It feels good to be back. And today we are starting from where we stopped, and I'll be interviewing Bless. Bless, say hi to the listeners.
Hey, what's up, everybody? And we're back again.
Yep, so we are back and we are still dissecting, understanding, comprehending the book of Genesis. This is the book that talks about how everything started. So we want to understand, how did everything start? And we saw what happened in the last episode. We didn't finish it. So we shall be doing this. We shall be trying to understand all the books in the Bible, trying to understand this religion that began 2,000 years ago. And yeah. So, Bless, do you know the person who wrote the book of Genesis?
The person who wrote the book?
Yeah, in the Bible. Do you know him?
I don't know the person who wrote the book. That's irrelevant information.
It's not relevant information. As a Christian, you should be knowing the people who wrote the books.
I think as a Christian, you should get the knowledge from the book. It's more important to get the knowledge from the book.
You should also know the authors.
To know that. Okay.
The author of Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, up to Deuteronomy is Moses.
Moses.
For our dear listeners who didn't know, and also Blessed didn't know who the author of Genesis was, and all of the books from Genesis to Deuteronomy, it was Moses. The Moses, of course, who rescued the Israelites, the Jews who are killing Palestinians right now from Egyptian slavery to where they call their home right now. Okay, so let's get on with it. We stopped around Genesis chapter. Let me look for where we stopped here. Genesis chapter 1 verses 19. That says, "And there was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day." God created, basically, in the upper chapters, God had created the sun on the fourth day. So, Bless, I would like to pose the question there.
Okay.
How had 4 days passed when there was no sun? Because here it says Christian God had created the sun on the fourth day. So, as an educated person, someone who's knowledgeable, how had 4 days passed when there was no sun? Because we know very well that for a day to pass, Earth has to spin on its axis. For one side of the Earth has to face the sun, and like right now we are facing this other side of our solar system. That's what shows. Sorry, that shows that we're in darkness right now. And the other side, which is the States, America, they are facing the sun. So 1 day has elapsed. So I want you to help me understand, and also our dear listeners, how had 4 days passed? How did God and Moses, who wrote this book, how did they know that 4 days had passed? The floor is yours.
Yeah, but I think for starters, Moses was a person of God, so he used to get, I think, to the best of my knowledge, direct information. And the issue of the creation, the earth couldn't rotate. It was the beginning. God was creating everything at the start. So there was no rotation of anything, as you scientists pose it to be. There was no rotation of anything because it was the beginning. Because therefore no one knew what was happening. This is a divine being creating everything. So we have no exact knowledge. Okay, according to you, how according to the Big Bang theory, what causes the earth to rotate? According to all those things, but you guys have made research about it, but you didn't invent the earth. So according to you scientists, what invented the earth? I also need to pose a question.
Like what?
What invented earth? How did we come about? And why is it that we have a bigger chunk of land and a bigger water reserve than? Why do we have land more than water? All those things.
Earth is formed from the sun.
How did
the residues.
To you, how did the land come about?
The residues. Basically, Like all this we see right now is what they call stardust. Even our bodies is made out of stardust.
According to you?
No, according to science. The earlier, because as we know, our universe is 13.8 billion years. So the older stars or stroke suns that live, that were formed after the Big Bang.
I want us to be clear.
Yes.
According to the scientists, the universe is 13 billion years.
13.8.
13. According to scientists, I want you to involve it.
That's what I said.
Okay.
According to science and scientists, the universe is 13.8 billion years.
Okay.
According to our studies, we have studied a lot of things. There are very many ways, but I'll be wasting time, like studying of old light, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Like, I don't confuse our listeners with that stuff. On how we got up with the sum of 13.8 billion years old. The old stars that were formed by that time, you know, stars have just like any living, they're like living organisms. They have a birth stage, a young stage, that is like million years old, and then also have a youthful stage. Right now, like our sun is in the youthful stage. It's basically, I think, if I remember very well with my numbers, it's 5 billion years old, our sun, our star. Then when it reaches its old stage, that is 10 billion years old, it will collapse in itself to form either a black hole or a neutron star, depending on its size. Do you get me? Now, when these stars reached their old stage, they either formed black holes or exploded into what is known as a supernova or supernovae.
Yeah, but initially you're talking
now,
about stars.
Listen,
but how do
I'm
stars
coming.
come about?
Stars. Now, how stars come about? The stars come about, if I remember very well, when a planet, it's called gravity. When when gravity falls into itself, that's how stars are formed.
Let me ask you something first. According to science, what planet comes first? What planet was formed first?
Jupiter is the oldest planet in our solar system.
Jupiter came first?
Yeah.
What came second?
Then other planets formed, like Saturn formed next.
They were just forming themselves?
Yes, from the sun.
From the sun?
Yes.
So why are we on Earth and on Jupiter? Since Jupiter is oldest?
Because Jupiter is very far away from the sun. You need to be in the Goldilocks area of the sun.
The what?
In the Goldilocks area or the habitable zone of the sun for life to whatever. But that we are removing that now.
So according to science,
listen. In the habitable zone is whereby a planet is not so far from the sun and not so near to the sun, whereby water can be in its liquid state. As you can see here, water on Earth can be in its liquid state. If you put water on Mercury, which is the closest planet to the sun, it takes only, how many days for it to be here? I've forgotten the numbers there. The water will evaporate. When you put water on Jupiter, it will freeze. Do you get that? So we are in the habitable zone, or what they call the Goldilocks area of the solar system. And this is what happens in all other solar systems.
Yeah, but we're talking about the genesis of how all this started. So how did the first man come about? To you guys, scientists?
The first man?
The first gang.
The first man. We don't have the first man and we don't have apes.
How do you come about it?
We evolved. You religious people have this thing of...
religion, man.
Like all of you Christians believe we came from dust, we were molded into dust. The Norwegian people believe we're made from trees by Odin. When you go to Greek mythology, they believe Prometheus, a god.
Yeah, but
and Zeus, they got Zeus's sweat, mixed with his and then they made human beings. It depends on every religion. Every religion has its own mythology and genesis of how it happened. But now for us scientists, according to the research we have come up with, we evolved. If you check my status today, I put it on my WhatsApp status. We evolved, us and our brothers, fellow primates like the apes, like the chimpanzees, gorillas, etc., etc. We evolved from a similar or a common ancestor.
Yeah, initially we want to know about the genesis.
We are not apes,
Because it's like a family tree. The first guy, the food chain. How did they come about? That's what
I'm coming there, bless. I'll be explaining. That's why we share 99% with these animals.
But before we share the DNA, how did the first guy come up with all this DNA?
I'm coming. Now, the reason why we share that DNA, all of us, the chimpanzees and all of us, and the thingies, and all other animals in the primates, Gundi, all came from the same ancestor. Now that same ancestor, I'm forgetting his name, it's called a shred tree something. He was a nocturnal animal. Now this ancestor, life as we know it on Earth, began from the oceans and seas, from a single-celled organism. That's why you find all very many animals and plants who share DNA with them. Do you know that we share 90 to 95% DNA with bananas?
Maybe.
Not maybe. We have checked DNA of bananas. We share 90 to 95% DNA with bananas. What does that show you? That life on Earth began from a single-celled organism.
But first, you initially said that everyone has their different theory of how it came about in Genesis. Why is it that there are plenty of theories, but you guys only criticizing the religious part of it? You said that there's the Islamists, there's Norwegians, there's plenty of theories, but you guys only criticizing the religious theories.
Your answer is your question is very stupid, because atheists, me here right now on this podcast, I always speak as someone who's open-minded. I don't think from an atheist view or from because I'm just here to moderate. When scientists come up with a theory, they always like I've always told you from the previous.
Yeah, but I've never heard of a scientist trying to criticize the Zeus
we have
theory.
We have
targeting
a
group that's
we do
harmless.
We
very
do
harmless group.
We do
group, very harmless.
And the fact
they are
is,
following.
The fact is not harmless. The fact is not harmless. The Israel-Palestine war can show you that you people are the most harmless people. You Christians are the most harmless people. There's the
harmful.
The conflict that is going on in Middle East shows you basically that you people, the people of God, the Israelites, who are killing Palestinians like insects. They just bomb hospitals with young kids and everything. Like, I don't know if you've been following that. And those are the children of God, I must say. The thing is here, let's not go to politics and warfare. The thing is, for us as scientists, we come for every religion. We're always there to criticize. The problem is we criticize you because you are the most talkative. Criticize you most.
No, you only criticize us because we have facts, and you guys only have theories.
We criticize you most.
What's the difference?
We criticize you most because
scientists have no facts.
Listen. We criticize you most because you're the biggest religion in the world. First and foremost,
so
I think you know that.
You have to target the best, right? You guys are trying to get recognition.
Of course, we won't target Nordic people.
But I think
they can't even make 1,000. Maybe they can make 1,000, but they can't make more than 1 million.
Yeah, but they also have their own theories. Why don't
yes,
you focus on
we also
you target the biggest.
We also attack them.
Why are you targeting the biggest?
We also attack them because we are also studying their mythologies.
Right?
Come on, bless. I want you to reason like someone.
You're the one who's reasoning like a kid, man. As a grown-up person, an atheist. Why are you so focused on how things came about? Just focus on your path, man. What are you focused on? You're not focused.
I'm focused.
You never tell us how you came about, but you focused on criticizing how it came about. You never tell us how it came about.
But
you keep saying scientists don't have a clear definition of how it came about. There are plenty of theories. Big Bang, what. But you're criticizing our facts.
No. We don't criticize religion to come up with our facts.
You're criticizing our facts. You guys have no facts.
No, we come up, we look for our work, we do our own work, and then
scientists never invent.
And then
they only
remember
and criticize. Discover.
We invent and discover. We do both.
Scientists never invent. No scientists ever invented the Jupiter planet. You guys only are only on theories, and we're not sure your theories are right. Everyone has their own theories.
The problem is, bless, you're just speaking out of ignorance.
No, it's
now
not
listen. There is discovery and invention. So you want to tell me we didn't discover computers? Who discovered? We didn't invent computers. Sorry.
Computers invented. These things are.
Then why are you shouting? We didn't invent internet that we're actually using right now to.
We talk about Genesis, the beginning of.
We didn't invent everything that you're seeing in this house.
Things that are out of your control. We are not invented.
What they call discovery. We discovered fire. We didn't invent fire.
discovered planets.
Human beings discovered fire because fire was already there. They discovered how to use it to shelter, to cook food and everything. The early men, our ancestors who we have been evolving from, we discovered electricity.
And this is the first person that
we discovered electricity.
The first person didn't discover, he invented.
No, fire was discovered, sir.
Fire was invented by the first person who did it.
No. Fire is nature.
Usually the first person.
Fire.
It's not nature.
Oh, bloody hell.
Maybe the air we breathe is not discovered. It was just discovered. We cannot invent the air we breathe.
Okay, who discovered? Who invented fire?
The first man, the early, according to me, my stories, the early man in a
your stories, because your stories are stories, they're not factual. They're not factual. Your stories are not factual. They are facts, but they are futile.
Why are you fact?
Fire is discovered because
even
fire.
Your facts are futile.
Because fire.
Okay.
Listen, because fire is nature. Fire is nature.
According to you guys.
Even if fire, you need oxygen to have fire.
And that's according to you guys. I want you guys to understand.
According to science,
it's just a story.
Science is not a story. Science
and usually
science is a story. If it was a story, then you wouldn't be alive. You're immunized because of science. It's facts. You wouldn't be alive, bless. For the many times you're sick last week, you had to swallow medicine. That is science. It is facts. It is facts. Now to go back to to go back to our, because you keep on taking both of us off track. We're on. I'm
on track. You're off track.
We're on planets. We left planets. Now we are on some funny stuff.
We're in the Genesis.
I was giving
when
you.
When you're explaining how it came about, you usually jump from the part how it came about to the middle part. You're talking about planets, but how did these planets come about according to the scientists?
I have already explained. Do you want me to explain again?
Who made Jupiter? Which scientist made Jupiter? I saw you posting some Dr. Hawkins. Is it the guy that made Jupiter?
Dr. Dawkins. Yeah, Dr. Richard Dawkins.
Yeah, we need to know which scientist invented these planets. That's what we need to know.
Planets are not invented. Planets were not invented. I told you the different types.
According to us, they were invented by God. The planets, everything we see on Earth, but out of your control, was invented by God.
But here it's not talked about. It doesn't talk about Genesis. Doesn't talk about any planet here.
It doesn't give you everything. It's only giving you the religious bit of God. The religious bit of God.
Why?
It's a holy
because
book.
This is Genesis. It's supposed to talk about. It's supposed to talk about everything.
Should I talk about finances in the holy book?
Genesis. Listen. Genesis is supposed to give us. You can't just give us information and then leave us out of the blank of everything.
The problem is, you guys want
give us everything.
You guys want everything as scientists.
Yes,
to make it your own. I think that's a good thing about the Bible. It can give you everything. You want everything to make it your own.
We're not making it. Science doesn't take thingies of any religion that. This is from religion and whatever.
Let me tell you
our dear listeners, I think are hearing.
Scientists, they'll get an invention. I'm just
from religion.
An ordinary person will make something, but then a more prominent scientist will steal that same idea and make it his own.
Give me an example.
Those are scientists.
Give me an example.
There is plenty of examples. If I start,
please do.
I'll go all night, man.
Okay,
I'll go all night.
Only one.
You
whereby, yeah.
I can't give one. No. If I start explaining these secrets, I'll go all night.
Okay, guys, let's continue.
Let's get back to the point.
Let's continue because this guy. And by the way, please don't forget he's educated.
And so are you guys.
And just a bachelor's. And that is
how. And you keep saying you have a lot of degrees.
That is how the
reasons. Then it's a sheep brain. Just because you're taking all things scientists are saying, man. You can never stand on yourself.
Let me teach you about something about science. The only time science changes its narrative, it is when it doesn't mean it's wrong. When science changes its narrative, it means science has discovered something more. When we say this laptop is made out of, let's say, aluminium. I'm just giving an example. Okay. And then we make more research and then find out that actually no, it's not made out of aluminium only, it's made out of also platinum. It will now, scientists will come back and change. It doesn't mean that science was wrong at first. No, it means science has discovered more. That's something about science. So now let's continue. We're on verse 1, chapter 19. And God said, let the waters bring forth of swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the dome of the sky. Basically here, we are seeing God creating all the living creatures and letting the birds fly. So God created the great sea monsters and every living creature that moves of every kind, and with which the waters swam, and every winged bird of every kind. And God saw that it was good. So, we all know 265 million years ago on Earth, there is proof, even if the scientists were not there, we have discovered dinosaur bones. Not talked about in this anywhere here. They're talking about birds. Let birds fly above the earth across the dome of the sky. Remember here, I told you last time, according to Christianity, we are living in a dome.
Okay.
We are living in a dome, not on a planet, we are in a dome called Earth, which is 6,000 years old here. So, Blaise, tell us, discuss for us here.
Why there are no dinosaurs in the book?
Why dinosaurs not in the book? Here we have jumped 65 million years. Sorry, 265 to 65 because dinosaurs went extinct.
The Bible is just giving you a highlight of all the birds. Dinosaurs are
I'm
bad.
finishing. A dinosaur is not a bird.
Did they talk about all the whatever it is? A mammal.
They've jumped 265 to 65 million years ago to. Sorry, they've jumped to because after when dinosaurs died off, or when they went extinct 65 million years ago, during to the asteroid that hit Earth at the Mexican Gulf. We saw that dinosaurs getting extinct, and that was after years later there was an ice age. Okay. So we don't have. They have skipped the book has skipped something like 300. Like 300 million years.
They have skipped an imperative thing for science. This is a holy book, not a science book. Have they talked about all? Do you know how many species of birds are there in the world? I can't begin to talk about jotting down.
No, we're not talking about the species here. We're talking about animals
dinosaurs
that lived 260, according to scientists, 265 million years ago. They have not talked about them. They have jumped them. They're not talking about the animals that we have right now. Yeah, but remember we're talking about Genesis, the beginning of this planet. Remember we're talking about Genesis, the beginning of this planet. And they've jumped all those millions of years to like 3,000 years. Please discuss.
But I think the Holy Bible is not discussing the beginning of the planet, just the beginning of the planet in the Christian way, the way we see it. So we're not going to talk about everything. That's not a part of us. You get it? We're talking about the Christian way, the way we see it. Christianity hasn't been there for 65 million years.
It has been there for 2,000 years.
Some
2,023 years.
So what will involve dinosaurs that
but this is the Genesis. This is the Genesis. It's the beginning of the world.
According to Christianity, I can't.
Because if you read all other, because I've had the chance to read all other holy books, the Quran, the Torah, the Egyptian Book of the Dead. etc. I've read very many religious books. The Book of Mormon, and also when it comes to Christianity, I've also read one of most of the 14 books that were removed by the Vatican, your Catholic Church, like the Book of Enoch and etc. All of them have one thing in common: they don't talk about these creatures.
Yeah, but it's a holy book, man.
All of them, they don't talk about.
It's a holy book.
Because we discovered dinosaur bones. In the last century, beginning of the last century, beginning of the 20th century. That's when we discovered the first dinosaur bones.
Let me give you an insight of the Bible. We're not talking about the religious bit of it. We're not going to talk about.
Okay, I've left the Bible. I've gone to also other religions and their holy books. They also don't talk about this. What does that show you? What do you get from that?
But this is just a religious bit of it, man. There's no finance in the Bible.
Because for me, it's
just the religious bit.
For me, what I get about it,
life is made of a lot of things.
For me, what I get from this that human beings who wrote these books, because religions, all these religions.
Let me ask you something.
Let me first finish.
In a physics book.
Let me first finish.
In a physics book, is there a genesis of how we came about? In a physics book, they're talking about things about physics. That's the domain.
How is
the field?
How is
I'm
that?
just giving you an example.
How is that coming into this?
I'm just giving you an example that
because physics, they can write a book.
Scientists have different
physics. Listen,
they have different domains written by people.
Physics,
and we have to follow those things.
Physics books can come with content,
and they've existed for long.
Physics will come and say, or the author, or let's say Mr. Neil deGrasse. Everyone.
Let me give you an example.
Let me answer, Blaise. Let me answer.
No, you're very.
Let me answer. A physics author, an author of a book will come up and be like, I'm going to talk about this topic, quantum physics. You get? So how do you expect him to right now? He's coming up with a topic.
Simple. I'm giving you things. talking about religious bit. Why are you asking
your
about
point
dinosaurs?
is your point
They're not part of it.
your point is futile.
Yeah, but
because no, listen, you're not getting the point.
Okay.
This is a genesis of the whole universe, of how the universe is. You have to put everything
The
here.
Christian
you
mindset.
You have to put everything
The
there.
Christian mindset.
You have to put everything
We
there.
can't put everything.
Because
We're only putting
this is the
Christian
genesis.
mind. We're only putting a Christian story. Let me ask you something. In history, why are you only studying about Napoleon? When there are years that existed before that? When there are history about 60 million years ago?
But history.
No, wasn't there a history about 60 million years ago? Why are you studying about Napoleon? Yet there's history about things that
Thank you very much. Thank you very
tell me
much.
about it.
Let me answer you very well. We have history of 5,000 years ago. That is Egyptian history.
Why are you studying about it?
After
Why are you
that-
studying about Napoleon?
I've studied about it, but just because that's what I've just explained to you. When I studied history has history one. In A level, we had history one. That was East African history. Then there was history 3. That was European history. That's where you find Napoleon. And even before Napoleon, there was the French Revolution and everything, etc.
Good point.
So that's
Good point.
The
So when you
books,
come to the Bible,
people who write
their
the books,
versions. Their versions.
but all these versions don't talk about all of them. I've read the Bible has at least 15 versions. I was a former Christian.
They're giving you
I've read all of the 15.
They're giving you a religious view about status.
Listen. I've read the American Standard, the King James, the New King James Version, etc. All of them don't talk about dinosaurs. I was a Christian, bruv. I was a pastor. I saw pictures that shows a pastor in church.
Well, it doesn't account. It doesn't
So
account
that's why I know your religion better than you.
It doesn't.
Yes, because I was a Christian up to 2013. Now, I've read all those versions of the Bible because I was looking for answers.
You know what makes you religious?
Listen, because I was looking for answers and I failed to get any of them. Nothing here talks about. Only when I read the book of Enoch that was removed from the Bible that talks about Leviathans. Leviathans were the first, it talks about Leviathans, were the first creatures Christian God created, but he didn't like them. And then he sent them to a place called Purgatory. Have you known a place called Purgatory?
I think you mistake religion for something else.
That's where
The Holy
listen.
Book is just giving you
I'm
a
educated
religious
now.
view of
My
how
dear
things
listeners,
work out.
my dear listeners,
Religious
those who
view of
didn't know
things work
about that, you can check out the book of Enoch. It has all that information. It has all that information. The first creatures God created were called Leviathans. He didn't like them, so he killed them off. Now, some educated religious people suggest that the Leviathans are the dinosaurs. They say that Leviathans, they try to bring in that thing that the Leviathans were the dinosaurs, and God is the one that sent that asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. I don't know if you're getting me now. There's always a way religious people try to fix in with science,
No, you guys
and it doesn't work out.
You guys are trying to make the world by your story. But your story is vague, man. You're just telling your own story. Everyone is telling.
We don't tell stories.
Everyone is telling their own story. Man. It's all a story. It's all a story, man.
Don't tell a story.
You guys have no factual evidence of how the first man came about. All you guys do is tell a story.
We have
you guys
evidence.
want people to believe the story.
We have evidence.
People do not believe. Actually, according to you, atheists, it should be a religion. People who don't believe what you say, they are fools, right? It's not an open-minded thing. People who don't believe what you say.
No.
Just like Islam. You say Islam kill people because they don't follow. Anyone that doesn't follow
Atheists.
Islam, it's the same thing to you, man. You as a person.
Atheists
You
are the
as a
most.
person, Trevor. A person that doesn't follow what you say is a fool, right?
No.
Everyone knows you, man. It's a thing you do, man.
The
It's a
thing
you
is,
do. All you
I'm
do is
open-minded.
criticize things you don't know.
If you bring me
and you
proof-
want people to buy your story, that's
No,
you,
the thing
man.
is,
That's
the
you.
thing
It's not
is,
right.
the thing is,
It's not right.
if you bring proof,
Your emotional intelligence is very, very low, man.
now listen to me. Okay, you put your brought in feelings and everything.
I don't feel it. I'm being factual. Factual. This is fact.
The thing is,
Yeah.
my dear listeners, this is something I've said it very many times on my socials. For any atheist, for any well-learned atheist, they are into proof. If you provide proof to any atheist,
So what's your proof?
That-
Have no proof. All atheists do criticize.
Blaise,
Atheists have no proof.
can I, get my point? You've asked a question and I'm trying to,
Damn, man. I just
If-
beg shit.
an atheist is provided proof. If you provide a scientist with proof, that this and this and this and this and this and this, God created the sun from nothing, and this and blah blah blah. Let there be light, and we analyze it, we go through it, we will accept it. Right now, me as Trevor, if someone is to bring me proof that Allah exists, I would analyze it. I would say yes. And if I find it is true, that it makes sense, that yes, this is proof Allah exists, or listen, Blaise, listen,
What proof evidence on the table that Allah doesn't exist?
listen. The proof that burden lies on the person who is religious, who believes in Allah. It doesn't lie on me.
Yeah, there's nothing.
He has to come and prove to me. I'm not the one supposed to prove to them.
What's the point of me proving to you, man? If I believe,
You have to prove to the world because you're lying to the world. You're lying to the world. You're lying to the world. You're lying to the world.
Personal belief.
You're lying to the world. Come on,
religion.
Yes, the problem is you don't want to speak.
Okay.
You don't want me to speak.
Okay,
I'm still finishing my point. The burden of proof lies to the person. That's why even me, as scientist, that's why scientists come with proof. You'll be like this and this. Water is made out of hydrogen and oxygen. And if you have to go to the laboratory and get hydrogen and oxygen, water will come out of the test tube, and that is proof. That's what scientists come like. This is the proof. That's why when you bring anything to science, we'll be like, prove it. Because even them, we will like also prove it. So if you have come with your claim that this Allah guy or the Odin or Thor is your God and this is what you suggest and this, prove it. Prove it. Prove to the world that this is your God. Prove it. Yes, you have to prove to us. Because in science proves to you people. It proves.
You guys are very.
Have you gotten the point?
There's no point. There's no point to making.
The problem is, Blaise, you're just a rigid.
You actually make.
You just
bad,
rigid.
man. You make sense.
You
look
just
bad, man.
how?
You make sense look bad because you say a lot of
the honors.
You say a lot of things that do not make sense, man. And you cover it. You cover yourself behind scientists. You cover yourself behind atheists. You're actually pushing your own agenda, man.
Which agenda? Which agenda, Blaise?
Religion is not about proof or anything. It's just a belief.
But you have to.
There's no point of
no. Okay.
Believing in the divine being.
I've understood.
Just give me proof.
Okay.
There's no God.
No, but
to you,
the thing is supposed to. Okay.
What would I prove to you?
Okay.
It's you objecting.
Okay.
What's the point of proving? What's your proof? What's your proof?
Very good question.
What is your proof?
Very good question. Very good question. Let me answer that.
Okay.
Religion is about belief, right? Just like how you said. Very good. You have gone to school. You've been taught to believe in facts, right? In all subjects, you have been taught. Why, as an educated person, listen.
Facts and theories.
Yes,
theories.
They don't tell you to believe in theories.
Big Bang is no fact. It's a theory, man.
Yes,
I don't believe it. It's a fucking theory made by a motherfucker who made it.
Language, Blaise. Even as a scientist, I don't believe in theories. That's why I don't believe in the Big Bang theory. Have you seen me believing in it?
So let's a scientist aside. How do you think it came about? You as a person.
We don't know, and we're trying to find out.
So if you do not know,
why you will jump into conclusion that?
Why say we don't know? Say I do not know. No, you as a person.
Scientists, ask any scientist. We can call anyone. You can call any doctor. Even right now, I can put for a video of Richard Dawkins, who was watching just some hours ago. He will tell you how was the universe formed.
Man, I think
we don't know. We don't know.
I think you're always covering yourself being scientist. You're not a scientist, bro, man.
Before as you've heard him, before that I used to have arguments or dialogues with such people. They used to call me. They say I'm not a scientist because I've done arts. I'm a business student. Now I am studying sciences at Uganda Virus Institute. I'm doing courses at Oxford University. I've done very many of them. I've so far done 4. GLCP. Right now I'm doing neclampsia in that's hypertension in pregnant women. I'm doing very many courses in science in the medical world, and now they're still saying that I'm not a scientist. But anyway. That's just rubbish. Let's continue with the podcast. You believe in religion, Blaise. Your religion is a belief with you and your thingy.
Yeah,
as an educated person, you're educated. You told.
It's not about education. It's not putting education.
Can I finish?
You guys try to make.
Can I finish, please?
An educated man.
Can I finish?
Doing that? Wait,
Can I finish?
We need to get to the bottom of this. Why are we saying educated and religion? Because even scientists are fools, man. But I don't keep bringing it up. According to us, scientists are fools. But stop relating education to religion. Religion is just belief, man. There are people who haven't gone to school, but they are believers.
If Blaise had lived 1,000 years ago.
Come on.
If Blaise had lived 1,000 years ago, these were the people who used to call us heretics, who used to call scientists heretics, who used to ban and kill scientists because scientists used to come up with claims and facts of this and this and this, and then they would be killed.
Promote peace.
There's no peace in religion. Where's the peace in Middle East? Where is the peace in Middle East? Because that way is religious. So the people of Israel believe that is
you're
their
condemning
home.
Everyone in religion for what's happening in Israel?
Yes.
You're condemning everyone?
In the Islamic and Christianity.
And you say you're also educated?
Yes.
You're condemning everyone? You're condemning all Islamists. So Saudi Arabians should come and step in wars and I'm not part of them.
Let me ask
Saudi Arabians.
Let me
All Islamists are bad people now, right?
Let me
All
ask you a
Islamists are
question.
bad people.
Yes,
They're not
they're bad
saving their
people. They're bad people.
To you, they're bad people. You see, you're very.
They're bad people.
Damn.
They're bad people. No, because
To you, right?
because what they believe.
To you or to the scientists?
Islam.
Is it
Listen.
to you or the scientists? I need to understand this.
my
Is this
God.
to you or to the scientists?
Oh my Zeus. Can I please answer the questions,
answer the
or we just close the podcast and we move on with life?
Podcast is interesting. Come, go on.
Because you're making it like as if it's a podcast, you're just shouting and everything.
Go
And
on,
I
go
told
on.
you to behave.
Go on.
Islam, it's the most misogynistic religion I've ever studied.
Okay.
If you've also tried to study it, you will also believe it. You will also see it. It's the most misogynistic. They make everything about themselves. They make everything. It's a masculine religion.
Okay.
Marrying their prophet, their most loved prophet, Prophet Muhammad, married a 6-year-old, and up to now they still do it. They believe that is the right way to do. Do you believe, you as blessed as someone who has gone to school, that it is okay to marry a 6-year-old woman? No, listen, no, answer that. No, don't answer that question, please. Just, is it okay, yes or no, to marry a 6-year-old and have...
We're grown-ups, man. We no longer say yes or no. We're grown-ups.
No, just answer yes or no.
19 years on this.
No, okay, okay.
In
please, go
Islam,
ahead.
there are few bad people in Islam who are doing those things. We have very few cases in Uganda where grown men are marrying 6-year-olds. How many cases have you had in the country? There are also
Because
Islamists. You cannot condemn everyone.
Uganda is
who's not following the
is
scientific
a religiously diverse.
You cannot
Uganda, the reason why it is like that.
Everyone.
Uganda, the reason it's like that. It's because Uganda is a religiously diverse country.
Kenya, how many grown people, grown Islamists are marrying a 6-year-old?
all of those countries you're stating go to Islamic or go to Islam-based countries like Saudi Arabia. This is what happens. This is what happens. Yes, because this is what the Prophet says.
Is everyone marrying a 6-year-old?
Most of them, 90% of them are doing so. Because it's what the Prophet told them to do. It's what the Quran tells them to do. It's what they follow. You know them. They follow everything. Listen.
People's names.
Everything Muhammad is.
And so right.
Everything Muhammad, the Prophet, peace be upon him, as they call him. Everything he did is the righteous way. Just like how you Christians follow Jesus. Everything Jesus does is the rightful thing. It's the same thing.
Religion is belief. We have different.
Yes, that's what I've told you. Everything
Jesus
Jesus did was the way. Everything he did was the way. The cross, blah blah blah, all that nonsense. It's the way.
But we need to understand.
And then even everything.
90% of Muslims are doing things. Everyone.
Muhammad.
Everyone is.
I've told you. Go to Sharia law countries where it's strictly Sharia law. This is what is happening. Go to all those Middle Eastern countries.
Have you heard, man?
They are all over. If you follow my socials on Twitter and WhatsApp, I'm always posting those cases. If you do follow me on Twitter and view my WhatsApp statuses, I'm always posting those things. And my dear listeners, who they can be my witnesses, who they have seen that.
For not intervening for Palestinians. What are you talking about?
They have seen that.
So you're condemning Allah, right?
No, those are children.
Those are
children. Actually, today's topic was about dissecting, but look at where we have now gone.
It's always relevant. Man.
No, it's you brought it up. It's you always brings this up.
Back to the point. What's the point now?
We stopped somewhere in chapter.
And by the way, we are dissecting a holy book. We need also like the atheist book. Where is your guys' book? We also understand you guys' thing.
Atheism is not a religion.
There's no book.
There's no book for.
Of what you guys came about?
There's no book. For us, we base our knowledge from science and facts. We don't just jump to conclusions that hey, this is a laptop. It was formed by something up there. We don't know. It is divine. It must have formed this laptop. No, we have to prove like how the components of this laptop. You open it up. Let's see. You get now. We stopped at God creating every kind of animal. Blah blah blah. Chapter 1, verses 27. So God created humankind in His image. In the image of God, He created them, male and female. He created them. Now, this takes me back to what I talked about earlier. I think I posted it yesterday on my Twitter and WhatsApp. We share 99% DNA with with primates. 90 to 95% with bananas. It's not talked about in the Bible here, first of all. Secondly, does that mean?
But the Bible is all about
Let me
religion.
pose my question. Does that mean these primates also our brothers who we evolved with, the gorillas, blah blah blah? Were they also created in the image of God? Because we share DNA with, like I've just told you, 90% to 95% DNA with bananas. So but bananas also created in the image of God?
You're asking big things, man. We're focused on
because
how it came about according to our religious way. There's Adam and Eve. That's our religious version of the thing.
Auntie, like I'm trying to get your opinion here, because
your opinion is
you
want the holy book to be written the way you want it to be written.
No, it's not that. I'm trying to find.
That's the point, man.
I'm asking here, not as an atheist.
If we're discussing the Bible, let's discuss the Bible minus external forces.
No.
There's no point of DNA banana beans.
I'm not
banana
asking.
DNAs, man. That's
I told you when this podcast was starting that I'm not asking as an atheist. I'm trying to look for answers here. I'm a moderator here. I'm trying to look for answers here. Pro-science, pro-religion. Putting them together here, but you fail to understand that. You think I'm biased.
Yeah, but I don't think you're anything. But
because listen, bless.
Where's the science book? For us to have the better discussion, there should be the Bible and the science book. To jot it down.
You can use your phone to get science books. There are very many science books.
And
they are there.
The Genesis, we should talk about all of this.
They are there. There are very science books. You can check on the evolution of. You can go. There's this book of Richard Dawkins.
Look it up.
No, it's you. You're supposed to do that. I'm a bloody moderator here.
Yeah, but initially you said
there are books there. Look for them.
To you, okay, you also have to prove to me.
Google.
Right? Prove to me.
You said initially. You Google.
We can. The podcast has a thing.
Please help me, because like I have very many.
Like I said, we have to prove to you. So you have to prove to me now. Get the thing. I also interview you a bit.
Okay, like what do you want?
The genesis of the science, how scientists say we came about. I need you to show me the issue of them involving the dinosaurs.
But I've already told you about
the DNA.
But I've already explained to you that. I've already explained to you how life came. I've already explained to you because I know it in my head.
Man, we need a book. Where do you get this thing from? Where do you get it from? Your head?
Okay, let me get like open your.
Google's there. Come on, man.
Open your thing.
Scientist, but can't you use a phone, you scientist? You guys inventors. You guys the top G's in science. Damn, man.
And the problem is here, time is going. Our time for the podcast is going. If you make me pause, then time is going.
We have like 20 minutes, man. We usually do an hour. This is gonna be fun. The last 18 minutes, man. Usually saucy.
Now, according to science, single-celled organisms appeared on Earth 3.5 billion years ago.
That's the genesis, according to science.
Yes,
this is Genesis.
Now we are not sure. There are very many theories now.
Are you not sure? You already not sure.
Yes, but for you guys are jumping to conclusion. We are not sure of how the single cells, because all of us, like I told you, single-celled organisms is where everything started from. That's where life is.
So you
began in the ocean. Now, where are these single cells?
What do you want the religious book
because
sure, yet you guys are not sure.
100 years ago, we didn't know single cells existed. We have just found them out here.
Also, you know these things existed,
Science is gradual. We keep on finding out. It's gradual. I think in 50 years from now, we shall get to know of how humanity came to be. It is gradual. It's a gradual process. Just don't jump to conclusion. Just boom. Hey, you get. Even cars weren't just went out of the blue. Boom. We first had the horses pulling carts. You know, we came on evolving. Well, then again, later on, we came up with the engine. The engine came to be. Then whatever the first train. Then you know, it's a gradual process. Well, we don't just jump into conclusion.
What makes you think gradual? Holy books are not are not gradual process.
They're not gradual process.
They keep updating these things all the time.
They don't update this thing. This book has been like this.
They keep adding some information, removing some information.
They just make versions. They just make versions to suit themselves.
A different version has different information.
No. It's the same. It's the same similar information. When you read if you read the King James version, it's the similar. Just change English. Just change some few words English. There. Have you read more than 2 versions of the Bible? Tell me how many versions of the Bible I've read. Because at least I've read more than 8. I can name them: American Standard, King Version, King James, the New King James Version, etc. How many versions of the Bible have you read?
I'm well covered with my Bible. Are you well covered with this one?
I'm well covered with all the Bibles
What
that
does
I've
Psalms
just mentioned.
Psalms 23 say?
Of course, you can't tell me to whatever.
And you're not very covered. If you're covered with something, when you read something, you understand. When I read something, I understand.
So you
if I
expect
read
me-
a Bible and I get a verse in my head, I've understood it. What's the point of me focusing on the
Okay.
atheist book?
Okay.
Yet I'm not an atheist.
Okay.
Why are you focusing on other things?
Okay.
Yet you actually don't have facts. You don't even have a book. You don't even have a what. But you're focusing on other things that are not relevant to your religion, man. Everything is a religion. Everything is a story. Everyone has their own
Listen,
story, man. Come
because
Come
it is.
on.
I've made this my life's work to understand.
criticize?
No, not to criticize. To understand.
criticize,
To
man.
understand.
Just hiding.
To understand.
Forming an own agenda.
Under every scientist, like me, like Richard Dawkins, like
Every scientist like you. So you know Richard Dawkins' status, right?
Like Mr. DeGrasse, all of them, and the rest, Carl Sagan, like Rest in Power,
And you're hiding-
all of them.
You're hiding behind this.
Their
Push a wrong agenda,
their
man.
motive is to understand how everything came to be. So
And understanding is good.
No, listen, bless.
This is bad.
Bless, listen.
Understanding is good.
Bless, listen. We criticize to analyze. You get science and religion. Then you compare, like, what's religion saying this side? Let there be light. Okay, then what are we saying this side?
What are
Okay.
What are we? Wow,
okay.
what?
This is what we are saying.
Conforming to
Actually,
their
that's actually how I become an atheist.
What are we?
Then you check this side.
Do you feel lazy?
You weigh what is making sense, religion or science? What is giving me facts? So I'm saying light came from nowhere.
And this side they're not sure, right?
Then this side,
They're not sure.
light comes
Keep
from
saying
the
you're not sure.
light comes
When
from the
that's-
sun.
when that's something big,
I'm talking
you're not
about
sure.
light. Like light comes from the sun and other nebulae or nebulae or etc. This one says light came from nowhere. Some space monster guy said let there be light. Then you weigh. You're looking at the sun. Light is coming from the sun. There are very many types of. There's infrared. There's light that is not into our visible light spectrum. Then, like, okay, no, this guy is not making sense.
You're talking about a light that's
You get-
coming from the sun. God created the sun. to
On the
provide
fourth day,
light.
but then
To
on the first
provide light.
on the first day there was light already, according to Genesis. On the first day there was light already. The book is here, sir. The book is here. You can read it. You can read through it. You get. So when you compare and see that, you realize
You're not
that
comparing anything.
you realize that
You're not comparing.
because you're trying
You're getting information from
no,
us.
We,
Then
no,
you
we-
make- you make us
the
irrelevant.
thing is here.
You get info from us,
Here,
you make us
no.
irrelevant.
Here's the
Trash
thing.
cans,
Listen,
man. Trash
here
cans.
we're trying to understand. We're trying to understand.
Science
like,
is not trash can, you're
we are
trash can,
putting
man. You're hiding
all
behind a
options
scientist.
here. We're putting all options here on our table to understand because humanity, as our brains are evolving,
Let me ask you,
we are
did
trying to discover.
Did scientists make the sun?
No, but we have manufactured like an artificial sun here that is 5 times hotter than the sun.
Which sun is that?
It's in China.
Is it like a planet where people can go?
No. It's like it's in a room.
You've not manufactured anything, man. You've not a planet. You haven't manufactured anything.
A sun is not a planet. But I really wonder what you studied in school and you were in science class. A sun is not a planet. A sun is a sun.
So let me ask you something. I was in science class studying about the sun, right? Do you see how irrelevant? When you get back into the basics, the little things we studied. I was in science class studying about the sun. I was studying about a different piece of science. I was doing physics, a different bit of science. Then I did
But
a bit of
physics,
math.
but physics is basically
About the genesis of the sun.
It's basically
about the
there.
genesis of the sun.
It's
I'm not talking
basically
about
there.
light. I'm not talking about genesis of the sun. I'm talking about rays, reflection.
Light is there.
beams,
And where does the light come from?
I'm talking about the genesis of the sun.
Because
Different
in
topics
physics,
about
I
the
know
sun.
very well. I
Come
remember very
on,
well.
man.
You did core physics. You did physics, and then you switched courses. I think in the second or third week of the term, I'm your OB. We started together. You switched to math, econ, and
The
art.
whole stuff I'm doing physics.
I don't remember very
So
well,
have
but
a
I
big
remember you
concept
did
of
physics.
than you'll ever have in your life, man. Have a big concept than you ever have. All you have in your head is criticism about the small things in the Bible.
That's what you
have.
think. That's what
I
you
don't
think.
think about anything, man.
That's according to your perception of me.
We judge someone by
But-
their face value. That's
But
what that's all that's
according to
coming
the
out of
people
you,
who have
man.
listened to me and understand what Amore is saying,
Okay.
and some of my listeners who do understand what Amore is
They do
saying.
listen, man. But they should listen to Trevor's podcast. It's a good thing.
So
Support.
Let's continue. God, here I'm seeing as if they jumped the ribcage thing. They're not showing the ribcage thing. But when you read the book of Enoch, it says that the book that was removed from the Bible, it says that Eve wasn't the first woman.
Who was the first woman?
She's called Lilith.
Lilith.
Lilith was created like Adam. Lilith was created they were both created from dust.
Okay.
But then Lilith, she's actually considered to be the first feminist. And she's
First feminist?
Yeah.
First female?
The first feminist. Because of what she did.
You're feminist.
And she was banned from the Garden of Eden. That's why God had to create someone from Adam. From Adam's rib. Someone who Adam will be connected to. Because Lilith and Adam were created both from dust. So Lilith wanted to, wanted to assume roles.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that?
It's what the Bible says. It's what the
But do you believe it?
I don't believe in the Bible.
Yeah, so why are we talking about it? You condemn everything in the Bible. So why
I don't believe in the Bible
because
because
let's
it's
talk
not-
about Lilith if there's no facts about Lilith.
Because you're not Christian enough to read
on,
the Bible. You've not put
First of all, you criticize
you've
everything
not
in the
put
Bible.
effort.
So you bring facts about a Bible, something you don't believe about. Is that
Because I'm a former Christian.
Is that a double standard?
I know the Bible better than you, and I'm a former Christian. And I took a step to read also the 14 books that were removed.
You only read the parts that criticize, the parts that are going to make information for you, right?
No, I read everything
Come on.
because I want to be knowledgeable. That's something that you don't
I
have.
ask you a small verse. It's very well known by every Christian. Psalm 23. If you're a Christian, you've ever been a Christian, everyone knows that saying. If you've been a Christian, Psalm 23.
Let's continue.
Each Christian
As I
knows that.
was explaining what the book of
You're
Enoch
never a
says.
Christian. You're just born a Christian. That's different.
When the book of Enoch was saying that Lilith, she actually, when she was banned by God from the Garden of Eden, she became.
Where are the facts that was banned
she
by
became.
God? Where are the facts?
It's in the book. Read the book. You have the phone. Please,
No, you don't believe
please
the book,
open
right?
it.
You don't believe the book.
Please open it. Please don't make things hard.
Double standard.
Please don't make things hard. The book is there on your phone. Please look for it and read it. It's there. I'm not coming up with these things on myself.
You're making all things look
So-
bad. That God battled, yet you also don't believe in God. What's the whole point? You make the whole thing look
Okay,
bad.
so I should just stop dissecting the book because I also don't believe in it.
No,
But I'm here dissect. I'm trying.
Me as a
I'm
person.
trying. Listen, Blaze. I'm trying to make my listeners understand the book, but a book that I don't believe in.
Okay.
You get so.
Go on.
So what I'm trying to say here that I'm wasting my time because I am. That's what the thing you're trying to insinuate here.
Just contradicting yourself.
How am I
But go
contradicting
on, you
myself?
have 8 minutes. Go on, come on.
I'm trying to.
TikTok.
Actually, today I think we should actually make 2 episodes because most of the time has been taken by arguing with Bless. We have not understood anything
That's
here.
the whole point of dissecting the thing. We need to get to the bottom of it.
We have not used it. So, like I think today we shall have 2 episodes. I think we have like 8 minutes to go. I'll upload the first one and then the second one will be uploaded later on. Yeah. So Lilith was chased down by 3 angels. Bloody hell, I'm forgetting their names. But she was chased down by 3 angels and she refused to come back to the Garden of Eden. So she became what is called the first demon. She is the first demon. And they are there's a cult that actually worships Lilith. These Christians call other cultish people devil worshippers. They believe in Lilith and what she stood on. Lilith actually wanted to have, even during sexual intercourse with Adam, she wanted to take on the roles of man, like being on top. That's why she actually considered the first feminist. Adam, of course, as it's masculine for a man to be on top of a woman during sexual intercourse. And back then, sex positions like the ones you have seen in the Kama Sutra were not yet invented by then. Doggy and all that stuff. There's only one procreation style that was missionary. So Lilith wanted to assume that role of being on top, and all that brought arguments in the Garden of Eden, hence and other things.
Personally, I think these styles were there. They just weren't named yet. I feel like even these diseases have been there, just weren't named yet. Like Ebola, it was just there. It was there. It just wasn't named to be Ebola. That's when it's known it's Ebola. Things have been there. But go on.
Let's continue.
But you get the point.
Let's continue. So she was just out of the Garden of Eden, and then that happened. Yeah. So I think we should go on. So I hope you guys who didn't know about that have gotten something new to learn. Lilith, according to when you read the Sinai books and you go into when you read those 14 books that were removed, you'll find it there. You can do some research on it. Yeah. God here is saying in chapter 1, verses 29, I have given you everything, plant yielding seed that is upon the face of all earth, every tree with seed and every fruit, you shall have them for food. Every beast on earth and bird in the air, to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has breath of life, I have given every plant food, and it was so. God saw everything that he had made, and it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning on the 6th day. Yeah, so guys, that's the end of chapter 1, Genesis. So we shall be back with chapter 2 in a few minutes. Sit tight, don't go anywhere.
Yeah, but it's a few minutes. Let's try to talk about something. We have 4 minutes, man. We can't just let them go to waste. So let's do something. There's a thin line between atheism and the scientific world. Atheists are covering them. They have no facts, so they are hiding behind scientists to prove things that are not real to them.
Because 98% of atheists
No, hold
are
on.
scientists.
No. But you guys don't have no agenda, man. All you guys have to do, are not trying to prove your own lineage. You're just trying to criticize another lineage. It's a different thing.
I've mentioned it. I think this is for the 100th time or 1,000 times to this gentleman here.
It's like 22nd time.
Again and again.
You can't count.
Again and again. Atheists, scientists, science, it is not here. For all the time, from the first scientists we have had, the ones that were killed by religious people,
Okay.
we're not here to criticize religion.
They're here to what?
We are here to bring facts.
What fact?
But now, these facts, when you bring them henceforth to a religious person, it looks like you have offended them.
Okay.
Let me answer. Can I please answer your question, or we end the podcast? Okay. Let me. You've asked a question.
Okay. Did you say really bad?
So when you bring the facts that we have, most times always because they are different. They suggest otherwise to what your religious books and what your faith suggests. The earth, your Bible says, earth and the universe is 6,000 years old, according to the Bible. According to the proof, we have done carbon dating of one of the oldest rocks on earth. It suggests earth is 4.6 billion years old. The rocks are there. That is a fact. We have taken them to the machines. We have checked them. Because by the time a theory is made into a fact, there's what they call double cross-checking. We go more than 10 times to check that is this the real thing, to come up with a fact that this is a fact. And the fact is, even if you check all those old sedimentary rocks, Earth is 4.6 billion years old. And it's a fact. It is a bloody fact. But then, these guys who knows this book, actually the Bible was written 2023 years ago by illiterate God-herders in the Middle East who knew nothing about the world. My P7 cousin knows better than these people who wrote this book. Do you understand me?
That's really
they know, because they're educated. They know more. They have gone to school. They have studied. These people were God-herders. Do you understand me? They were bloody God-herders. What does that show you? Now you're getting the point. Are you getting the point now?
Whenever you're trying to prove, you're trying to cross the line. The point of just saying that
science is always that cross the line of religion.
No, you're hiding about.
That's why you people have always killed us.
You're hiding about.
I've given you very many examples of
gender, man. You're hiding behind science. You can't be saying things like, just because I'm not buying your story, then I'm less educated than a P7 harder. That's very not right,
but,
man.
No,
and I think
it's a fact. It is a bloody fact. Do you want to compare a P7 person to someone who lived 2,000 years ago in terms of critical analysis? Should you do that? Okay, not even that's even very far. Do you want to compare yourself to your uncle in the village when it comes to critical analysis?
Let me ask you something.
No, please answer that. Do you want to compare yourself to your uncle in the village who is farming? Do you want to compare yourself in terms of critical analysis with your uncle or your auntie or your shamba boy in the village? Is that now being is that offending?
Just because something's old doesn't mean they're always right.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we shall be back shortly for chapter 2 Genesis. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time, the time you take. This is Beyond Belief podcast by Bamcha Trevor Brill, and I am being helped by Bless. Thank you very much.